Hi there, it's Olivia with Brighter Connections Counseling, and today I'm going to be talking about building your visual vocabulary for creative expression. Now, if you are someone who really wants to use art and creativity to express your feelings, to get feelings out and express yourself on paper or visually, but are not quite sure how to tap into those inner images and your inner feelings, this video is for you. I'm going to share with you 3 ways that you can build your visual vocabulary for creative expression. Now, the first thing is connecting to your felt senses. It's going to be so important in order to communicate your feelings that you know what those feelings are and how they're showing up for you in your body. So the first step that I would say is a mindfulness exercise, a meditation, to get connected to how you're feeling. The process that I have for connecting to those feelings, to tune into the body. So when you're thinking about the thing that you want to express, how does that show up? So you might take a minute, create a nice quiet space where you could really reflect, tune into your breath, and notice just sensations that you're feeling in your body. Notice any feelings such as tightness, as any sharp feelings, any like surges of energy, and really explore how that feels. But you're really going to want to make sure you are connected to that feeling that you want to express, instead of it being sort of like in your head, like theoretically, I know this is something that I've experienced, I know this is something that I've felt before, but you're not really connected to it. It's going to be a lot harder to express it on paper, so you want to try to feel connected to it emotionally in the present. And another reason why it's important to connect to that felt sense in the present is because we can get stuck in our heads and be thinking, overthinking about things, analyzing things, judging things. And it's going to be really hard to express what you want to express emotionally when we're in that thinking, judging, analyzing part of our mind. When we get into our bodies, we can get more into the present. We can get out of that judging space. When we're in our bodies, things just are. It just is. So we really want to tap into that space where we are in a space of acceptance and noticing and awareness instead of analyzing and judging. So when you're thinking about how you are feeling and how the thing that you want to express feels and what it's like, it's okay to start with just making notes, writing down words. You're noticing sensations in your body, write down what you're feeling. If you feel tingling, write down tingling. If you feel tightness, write down tightness, tension, sharpness, feels like a zap, write down zap. So whatever words, if words come to your mind first, write those words down and kind of get a compilation of descriptive words. Now, if you are more visual oriented and those images come easily to you, that is actually what I have for step 3. Have a notebook journal where you can draw in whatever images come to you. I'm going to show you this part on my table. I've got my paper and some pencils here. I'm going to try to connect to some feelings, some sensations that I have. So right now I'm wearing a fuzzy sweater, so I'm kind of feeling a bit fuzzy. I have some kind of soft, prickly sensations. I might even like right here, soft, prickly, fuzzy, and now I'm kind of getting the image of like a dandelion. So, and this is just like really a word and image library where I'm just compiling notes, like a brainstorm. It's not by any means going to be a finished product. It's really just more of a journaling exercise. So here's my kind of dandelion here. I'm thinking of like the little fuzzy seeds. Now, if you would like to look up images, if you're like, yeah, I'm feeling like a dandelion, but I don't really remember what a dandelion looks like, it is totally fine to look up reference photos. which is great. Go ahead, look up reference photo or draw something in your environment that you feel like captures your feeling and just add it to your journal. So I'm thinking of a dandelion with its little seeds here. Hopefully you can see that. I'm also feeling some warmth. And when I think about warmth, I think of the sun. So I'm gonna draw like a sun, maybe like some warm rays coming out of it. It does not have to be very detailed. This is, again, just notes. You're just capturing images that describe a feeling. So I'm feeling heat from my sweater. I'm feeling a sense of fullness, like maybe like expansion. So for me, I get like an image of maybe like a circle that kind of radiates outward. So I'm kind of gonna do like a spiral to represent expansion. I'm gonna take a second to tune back into my feelings. Starting to feel like a sense of being rushed. And for some reason I think of like a road, like kind of a winding road. I'm gonna draw a bit of a road here. Maybe it's kind of dark in the middle. So like a feeling of hurry, quickness. And you'll also notice that the sensations change over time. Those feelings will change over time. So it's interesting as you're observing the feelings in your body. Right now I'm not feeling like super tense, but for your feeling journal, you might be feeling something very heavy or something very raw. And so your images will be very different from mine, most likely. Now, something that you want to keep in mind while you are making your visual notes about your feelings and the sensations that you're feeling is that there's no feeling or sensation too small and no mark too simple or too ridiculous. So again, we want to get out of that judging, analyzing part of the brain and just be in the moment, just feel and just really allow and give yourself permission to make marks. Mine were very, very simple. As you could see, they were not finished products. You might find that your marks are very simple. Even if you just put little dots, you know, prickly or pokey, just little dots or little marks, that is good. That is still valid, and that's still a way of expressing. So try not to put too much pressure on yourself for that the pictures have to look a certain way. The next step will be to compile your notes and your pictures into an image. And again, you want to stay in the body, stay connected to that feeling, to the sensations, and kind of go with what feels right. And if it feels right to make something a certain color, then make it that color. Really, you're just going by what feels accurate, what feels right, what feels like a good representation of this. So let's get started putting it all together. I'm going to start by getting my paper a little bit wet because I'm using watercolor for this. Paper's going to buckle up because of the water on there. So I've got some pieces of tape, just regular tape. You can use painter's tape. Is probably actually a better idea. I'm gonna take a minute as I'm getting started. I am just connecting again to that inner sense, those felt senses that I had shared earlier about feeling warm, about feeling fuzzy. I'm reviewing my notes. I'm feeling connected to it. So I'm ready to get started. And what's feeling right for me is thinking about that radiating heat. Just kind of enjoying the way the color spreads out, just in the way that I was feeling, where it's kind of radiating outwards. And like lightening it up with some yellow. powder to make it fuzzier on the outside. I kind of like there's bits of white in there. I'm gonna leave that. I'm remembering that fuzzy feeling, and I'm gonna get some really soft purple. And I'm just really letting myself lean into the process. I'm not thinking about where this is gonna end up, what it's gonna look like at the end. I'm just really wanting to stay in the moment, staying connected to my feeling, checking in with myself. Does this feel right? Does this represent how I'm feeling, and what else do I want to add? Okay, now I'm adding some more shapes to the side to sort of capture that zooming feeling. That's what I'm thinking as I'm drawing this, is like zooming around, because I've got an appointment coming up soon, so I'm still feeling that like urge to rush. Even in the midst of this softness and warmth, still kind of on the outskirts. I'm feeling this energy, the zoomy energy. It's like zooming around, windy. Okay. So you can see this is how my painting is looking right now. It's still drying. But you can see sort of the heat, the warmth in the middle radiating out. It's of course not the same here as my drawing, but that's okay. You kind of go with the flow again, the flow of those feelings, of what you're feeling in the moment. I added color and that changed things a little bit, but you can still see the elements that I used from my notes in my drawing. You see the circle radiating outward, you see the heat from the sun, you see the fuzziness from the dandelion, and you see the zoominess of the road represented there on the perimeter of the painting. I had no idea what this was going to look like when I first started, and it just kind of went moment by moment as I was feeling those feelings. Well, I hope you found that helpful. If you're interested in getting a bit more in-depth look at the process of creating a color palette, of really delving into different emotional states, check out my online course. In there, I really go into, if you feel like you're having a hard time kind of pinpointing those feelings and really expressing them or identifying them or feeling them in your body, that's definitely going to be a really helpful course. If that sounds interesting to you, check out the link in the description, and I'll see you next time.